Hello, friends. This is Elle with Sacred Union Tarot, and it is Twin Flame Tuesday. Okay, so if you have Netflix, you know what's happening. There's a little mini documentary on some Twin Flame coaches, guides. I haven't seen it. I really am going to be heartbroken to watch it. But there's a couple of things I really feel like I'm prompted to say, and I know a lot in the Twin Flame community are coming in and speaking out. Okay, so the first thing is one of the big, most uncomfortable factors in the Twin Flame journey is when you feel this deep soul connection, your whole being feels compelled to make the relationship connect and what we call union, and to be in sustainable union. And that is your deepest desire. It drives your thoughts. It drives your physical being. It is a sense of panic and overwhelm all the time. That is a phase in the journey. It is not the entire journey. And I've said this from the very beginning, go back and watch the first couple of videos from, I have over 700 videos on this channel. Go back and watch some in the very beginning, look at the description. My intention is not to help you hinge your whole life on the hope that you're going to be with your divine counterpart. I'm very cautious in my readings about not having you focus on managing your twin flame energy, especially not your twin flame counterpart. If you look at my videos, if you look at the title of my videos, I try to inform you as to what's going on in your connection or in your divine counterpart's life. But the majority of the energy that I put into this is to help you navigate the twin flame journey. I don't coach, although I could. I don't have subscriptions to help you get your twin flame because I don't believe in that. I believe that that's exploiting this deep desire in you. Sure, if you've managed to attend or subscribe to one of those practices and you learn some things to bring your twin flame back into your life and you're in union and you're happy, I'm happy for you. But for a lot of us, being with our twin flame in physical 3D union relationship is not positive in the real kind of way, in real life, because the possible twin flame is toxic, possible narcissism. And so there's this kind of embedded belief that if you're not with your twin flame, then somehow you failed, or you didn't do something right, or you're not in high vibration, or you aren't making the right decisions. Maybe you should wait longer. Maybe you should reach out more. For some of us on this journey, and I know for a lot of the spiritual people that I connect with, some of us aren't meant, the union thing isn't what's right for us. But the twin flame energy woke us up, aligned us with our spiritual path, and is allowing us to give back to help others, not only just with twin flame energy, but with the energies of ascension, abundance, manifestation and the whole science and spirituality behind becoming the best version of yourself. Am I happy I'm a twin flame? You betcha. But I'm not happy with my twin flame. There's another lifetime to go. But for right now, for my purpose, I am doing exactly what I'm supposed to be doing, and that's connecting with you all and all the other things I do in my life to give, to help others. And a lot of the spiritual people I know are kind of similar to me in the fact that they left the concept of being in twin flame union, and that's the whole point of the journey, a long time ago. And they use that energies to transform themselves, and now they're in a spiritual practice to help others, not just twin flames, but others. And I really feel sorry that some people on the twin flame journey have had that hope exploited at that really critical point in the journey where you really have to stop trying to manipulate the energy to bring your twin back and to start looking at yourself and saying, why do I need that? So I haven't watched the docuseries. I mean, it's up to you whether you want to watch it or not. There's a part of me that just knows I'm going to be heartbroken because it is oppositional to everything that I have stood for on this journey. I don't tell you what you want to hear. You know that. That's not what this channel is for. And I'm not going to compromise my alignment to get more subscribers, viewers, monetize my channel, all of that. To me, that's not my path. For others, I understand. This is an income. This is how they support themselves. That's great. But I always then question the motives. And I'm just saying, this is time for you to use your discernment. Because if there's money to be made out there, somebody's going to figure out a way to make it not necessarily for your highest and greatest good. And if you are stuck, I mean, there is a process to this journey. If you're just waking up, please know there is a process to this journey. There are milestones of growth. And when you hit those milestones, you know it. And when you get to a point where you realize, this is about me. This is about my happiness. This is about my journey, my spirituality, my ascension, my abundance, my manifestation, my connection. And how I can use that to help humanity. Not even just humanity. I spend a lot of time working with animals. Surprise! I spend a lot of time feeling like I need to be an example for other people so that they can manifest abundance, so they can be aligned in their purpose. It doesn't necessarily have to be about coming together with your twin. I wish my twin all the happiness in the world. But there is no way on this planet, or probably any other planet at this point in time, that we would be able to be in sustainable union, because there's a maturity difference, not just age. And there's some toxic behaviors that I'm not going to expose myself to. So that's it. I mean, I just want you to know that I'm here to be of service. I'm here to help you. I am in no way wanting to exploit you in any way, shape, or form. And I think you feel the resonance of that. I think you have all the evidence that you need just by watching my channel, that my goal is to help you along your journey, navigate the energies so that you can grow, so that you can increase your manifestation skills, so that you can make right decisions for you along this journey, because it gets confusing. And if you feel isolated, sometimes a tarot reader is The only person you have that seems to understand. Been there, done that. But I'm here to be of service. But I am not here to exploit you for money, for your energy, for your time. I am here to help you navigate this journey. And if you don't identify as a twin flame, if you're not a twin flame or you don't know you are yet, I'm just here to help you understand some of the energies that you're facing so that you can understand why things are happening the way they're happening, or what might possibly derail you and set you back. And Spirit's really good about pulling that out of the reading. All right, let's get on with this twin flame reading. If you have questions, if you've already turned off the video, I understand. But if you have questions about me, I'm happy to answer them. I am transparent. I'm as transparent as I can be, because that's important. That's authenticity. But it is so important for me to help you along your journey. Sorry for the wet hair. Just got out of the shower. Working with my dogs this morning. My goats. My silly goats. All right. We have a card. This is the Rumi Oracle. I always use this deck to start off our twin flame. I know it just in my heart that Rumi was a twin flame, so he wrote so much. That depth in his writings and his philosophy is definitely aligned with twin flame energy. So it's nice we have that. Enter the Garden of Delights. Now, I turned the light down here a little bit because there was such a glare. See if I can help you out. So, enter the Garden of Delights. That is a 28 card, which is a 10 in numerology. Let's see what it says. Remember, I don't read this whole thing. I know many of you are like, I'm not going to stick around for that. I just read what jumps out at me sometimes. Okay. Are you aware that sweetness is found everywhere in town? Are you aware that the winter is gone and spring has come around? Are you aware that sweet basil and the carnation are whispering in the garden and laughing about how simply everything is found? Are you aware the nightingale has come back from its flight, singing out messages of love? So spread delight with every sound. Everything in the garden is granted the right from the divine court to appear for our delight. Everything is here to make the earth green and alive as a haven for our lives. What remains buried in the soil will always endeavor to reach out. No one truly alive can ever be pawned to a prison or a tomb. In the words of Rumi. To come alive requires shedding of so much adherence to the fear of death. The great brother whispers wisdom into your heart. You have heard it and felt it already. The fear of death is so much more terrible than death itself. Nothing is dying in you but fear, so the heart can live more freely. Death and life are twin angels, dancing together in communion with the sacred. They are not oppositional. They bring the soul aliveness and make the Garden of Delights possible. They bring the seasons of the soul that foster growth and take the appearance of the dying away, which is actually part of the cycle of life, again and again and again. A new day is dawning for you. This is a time when the past will very soon cease to have any hold over you. Celebration is imminent. We saw that yesterday with that 3 of Cups, and we also saw the new beginning. You are invited into the golden light of divine plenty. Put your worries behind you now and step into your divine inheritance, where all is sorted according to kindness and grace. All right. Enter the Garden of Delights. And to me, the Garden of Delights is alignment. Because once you are in alignment, everything just kind of magically happens. It's unbelievable. So alignment is important, and my mission here is to help you either find your way to alignment or to capitalize on those energies. All right, let's find what the Lover's Oracle has to say. I'm sorry I have not looked at the astrology today. I know we had a new moon yesterday in, oh, that's my bird. There's a bird outside singing like the nightingale, and my bird in here is starting to respond. My cat's right there watching the bird. I told you I do a significant amount of work with animals. I was a wildlife rehabilitator for a lot of years. Oh my. Healing. Imagine yourself and your beloved surrounded by light. Feel your relationship being healed. Healing is definitely part of the journey, because as little human beings, many interactions wounded us, and we have so many things that we have to heal from in order to get into alignment. And it helps you to understand. I'm not going to take all those. I'm not. But the new moon in Scorpio is go deeper. That was the message from the Moonology deck. And we are definitely going deeper. Either deeper in a change of perspective about why we're here, what our mission is, what the twin flame journey is. Manifesting miracles. Didn't we? We're just talking about that. Your dream is soon to become a reality. Trust your heart and continue to follow its guidance. When you are in alignment, you know how to follow your guidance. It's like you just get messages along the way. The universe communicates with you. Your guides. I mean, let's just think about it. How cruel it would be if we were to be born and incarnate down here without any of the wisdom from where we came. That's cruel. So just think about it rationally. If you are an infant and a soul who has to forget everything from whence you came in order to incarnate down here, how cruel would it be to just toss you down here and say, now, see what you can do. Some people would thrive. But having guidance from your ancestors, your angels, and those who volunteer to kind of mentor you from afar, I mean, they're just there to help. But when you're in alignment, it's almost like you're so aware of the guidance that it's hard to make a mistake, because you're so it's like, no, go this way. And you feel the friction when you don't. So it's so easy to say, I feel that prompting. I feel that energy. Okay, this way. Okay. And you start to follow the energy, and then you wind up with these manifesting miracles. It's amazing. And that's one of the reasons that I'm here and that I come here every day for you, is to help you manifest miracles in your life. And that doesn't always involve your twin. Sorry, but it doesn't. The Magician. That's Mercury, Virgo. Mercury is the communication planet. It's fast. It's swift. It's kind of like Knight of Swords energy for me. But this Magician is somebody who is a manifester. That's how I read. I know a lot of readers read the Magician as a trickster, but for me, the Magician is a manifester. It's taking all of these actions, thoughts, feelings, and physical abundance and manifesting it into something greater for yourself and others. There's the Judgment card. That is fire energy. Judgment to me is like karmic closure. Two major arcanas. It feels like this is the Divine Masculine side. I'm using the Somnia deck. All the decks I'm using are up here. If you can see them. Yeah, I think you can. But I used the Rumi Oracle, the Lover's Oracle, and now I'm using the Somnia Tarot. Ooh, Knight of Wands in the reverse. There's no action that you're seeing. They're kind of It feels like this is just kind of the masculine side for me that they're healing. But they're catching on is the energy I'm getting. It's like they're catching on. If you can see these two cards, this magician is going up these steps. Let me see. And then here you have this ladder. This is the ascension process. This is becoming the best version of yourself. This is learning how to manifest. This is being in alignment. So it feels like they're starting to figure this out, but they're not really acting on figuring it out. They're just kind of like, they're still in the healing process. So they're not quite sure how to start to utilize this, but they have been hearing about the law of attraction. They have been hearing about the quantum. They have been hearing about how to use energy for, for your guidance. 9 of Cups. They know now that this is the path to happiness, is being self-satisfied by being able to be in charge of your manifestation. Okay, let's pull one more. This is not really talkative energy today. Ace of Swords. When I get the Ace of Swords after I just kind of say something like that, usually it means that's confirmation that, yeah, you got it. You thought through it. Yeah, you read the energy correctly. That's what I got here. And then there's this epiphany. Oh, you mean I can manifest? Yeah. All right, then we have beneath that, underneath is the 5 of Swords. This is going to create a little bit of conflict because what I'm hearing is there's a card upside down. I can't stand it. Oh. It's this one. Page of Wands. Yeah. That's kind of learning. Not quite sure how to really start. They're just engagement. It's like, okay, I'm gonna begin like a new. But this 5 of Swords, this is it feels like just that what they're showing me is like they're talking to people around them. Hey, have you ever heard of law of attraction? Have you ever heard of, everybody's heard of soulmates. So that's not kind of where they're focused because they're not getting feedback from that. But what they're saying is there's something other than a soulmate. But I've been hearing about this law of attraction and, came across my YouTube feed or, somebody's been, I heard this book, The Secret, and I've heard about these people. And so they're talking to people in their circle, but they're getting the, really negative feedback saying, oh, you don't want to do that. And yeah, it feels like some, they're starting to listen to that negative talk and maybe negative self-talk. So that's what's healing. Instead of following their intuition and their guidance, they're just kind of like, well, I'm not sure because everybody I know says that that's not what I should be doing. So, all right, let's see what's going on for feminine energy. Trust your heart and continue to follow your guidance. Welcome, enter the garden of delights. That's your manifestation. No crap. Seriously? The Magician. That's mirroring, which is always good. Okay, so if you look at the two cards, I know you knew I was going to say that. This one is kind of like, I'm going to climb up out of this quagmire, this really dark dungeon that I've been in. This is the unknowing. This is the not knowing how all of this works. And look at the Divine Feminine. She's sitting there. She's like, I got this. I know how to use this energy. I know how to manifest miracles. That's what I've been doing while I've not been worried about my twin. I have been creating my abundance. I've been starting a new business. I've starting to really expand. And now I'm like, ooh, this is magical. This is now I want to help others learn how to do this. I want to be an example to others that they can manifest their authentic life. They can have these miracles happen too. All they have to do is, and so you serve as this role model. There's a Page of Wands. Oh my gosh. Seven of Cups. There is deliberate choices being made by the Divine Feminine. Seven of Wands. 2 sevens. 5 of Pentacles. Okay, so what I'm getting from this energy is that the Divine Feminine has made a lot of her decisions. And look at the difference here. This is the Page of Wands. This is still kind of like, I just still don't even know. Look at this one is engaged. This one is like, I'm well on my way to figuring out how all of this works, and I'm enjoying the process. So there's such a different energy between the Divine Feminine, who is obviously confident and is self-assured, even though there's been some losses along the way. A lot of people had to kind of drop out of her life because, and I'm using gender, but it represents energy. I'm using pronouns that are gender, but it's really about the energy, not the physical being. But I'm just saying there's some people had to leave the Divine Feminine's life because she, she was manifesting, and she was just like, look, this is what I'm going to do. And not everybody agreed with her. Here we have the Page of Pentacles. She started something totally new and probably got some opposition for it, but she stood her ground. She chose carefully. She listened to her intuition, and she then has started on this new path, and it's like super exciting for her. We have Temperance. Sagittarius, Jupiter energy. That's luck and opportunity. Of course, it's also balance. She's balanced her masculine and feminine energies. Remember, the masculine is the brain. That is your electric energy. And then the heart is the feminine energy, and that is your magnetic energy. And those two combine to create your aura. And your aura is what interacts with the quantum field. So the quantum field being, all of this, what we thought was air, that isn't, it's energy. And we interact with that. And so what our aura says to the quantum, to the universe, is how we're communicating. When we set an intention, we're using heart and brain coherence to create an aura, an energy that interacts with the universe and tells the universe what we're asking for. That's manifestation. And Knight of Wands, yeah. You can see she's a party girl. I mean, she's happy. She's like joyful. I got this. I got this. I got this. I got this journey. I'm all good. On the bottom, Ace of Swords. Ace of Swords, Ace of Swords. Lots of mirroring. So that just tells me that the Divine Feminine has been serving as that example for the Divine Masculine. He's been watching. He's been hearing. He's like, oh, maybe I need to open my mind a little bit and try this. Yeah, that's what I'm getting. All right, I'm going to pull something from the Divine Abundance. Just allowing the Divine Abundance. Oftentimes when we see mirroring in a reading, it means that the energies are kind of in sync between the twins. And oftentimes, okay, and here's another little thing that I've learned on this journey. When the twins are kind of like on a spiral, and they're at different points on the spiral, and the spiral goes up and up and up like an ascension. It's not a ladder like depicted here. It's a spiral, and you go through and you revisit certain things so that you I have a cat hair in my mouth, sorry. You revisit things as you up that spiral. So when you come around to something, you're at a higher vantage point, you see it differently, you interact with that situation, that person, that circumstance differently, and then you see your growth. You're able to say, oh, okay, well, when I first saw that last time around, this is how I felt about it. But now that I've learned and grown and elevated some, I kind of see it differently, and it's a different poise. So on this spiral, the twins are both going, they're ascending on this spiral. They're at different points. But because they're on a spiral, at some points they come very close together and they interact. And this is when you come into this union. Doesn't mean you're going to stay in union. It means you're going to interact. And what this means is, a lot of people say it's to trigger you to find out what needs to heal. But for me, it's an activation. And so when I interact with my twins' energy, which happens on occasion, I don't say, is this union? Is this, we're going to come back together? Is this going to be, the happily ever after? No, it's an activation. It means there's something that I need to activate to be able to continue up that spiral. And that's what my twin does, is activates that in me. It's like a DNA activation where it's like, okay, you're ready for this now. But you do the same to them. You activate something. So usually when I see mirroring, it feels like they're getting close together on the spiral. And oftentimes there's either a physical, where there's a physical presence where they kind of meet up, or they run into each other, or there's a reach out, somebody texts. And then there's this activation, which brings that twin flame energy back into focus, back to the surface, back into prominence, where that intensity, that power, and that energy allows for that activation to be sustained. And then you take that activation, there's usually a separation. Everybody gets focused on, the separation, and I'm wanting to be back in union. But even if you were, it's not sustainable. So you kind of, instead of aligning on, why aren't we in union? What happened? What did I do wrong? That kind of thing. I take it from the perspective of, oh, thanks for that activation. Gosh, I can't wait to see what happens next. That's just my perspective. I know it's kind of silly, and I don't want to seem like I'm demeaning to anybody who's really stuck on the journey, because we've all been there. Every single one of us. Every single one of us have been at that devastating, my life is, all about the being with my twin flame now. Everybody on this journey goes through that stage, but it's a stage. They're showing me, like babies, when they learn to walk, how many times they fall and hit their bums. And you just think after a while, their poor little butts are sore. But eventually, their legs get stronger. They get their balance. And then they don't fall. That's kind of how I see the journey. Okay, divine love and divine abundance. When you offer everything to the divine with detachment, you become a love affair with spirit. And that's what I've really been talking about, is this love affair with the journey. And then you were born to align with love's will, follow the Tao, and serve something beyond the ego. Learn to be abundant and not chase it. Exactly. All right. That is where I'm going to end the reading. If you have questions or comments about my perspective of the journey, feel free to share them. And I'll watch the docu-series and I'll let you know how how I feel about that. But I know, many of us that are in the twin flame community are coming out and saying, look, it is very sad what happened. It is very sad that there are people out there willing to exploit the hope, knowing that that's part of the journey, knowing how to use that against someone. To me, it's unethical and unconscionable. And I strive really, really hard to ensure that you know how to protect yourself against that. All right. Love you all. Namaste.